go. What's up, guys? Do something a little bit different here this week. I did some fishing over the weekend, and my footage did not turn out very well. My main camera died that I wear like on my chest, and I just had like my console one going, and the sun was shining right in it. It just didn't make for good footage. So I figured I need to tie some jigs anyway, so we'll do that. And while I'm doing that, we will talk about the upcoming tournament. I don't know what you can see here. It's a big banner and kind of a small space, so it's going to be hard to catch the whole thing in one. But this weekend, Kaufman Beach, 7:30 a.m. is takeoff for our tournament. We are going to be there at 6 a.m. helping people sign up, whatever. You can pre-register at our website, MidwestOutdoorExperience.com. Clicking the link upper left-hand corner there, and that will save your boat number. So the biggest thing with that is, if there's like a tie or something, then you're going to, be a better boat position than somebody else, so you can win some money. So that is pretty much what I have to say for that. We're gonna tie some finesse jigs here today because I am running pretty low, and it's something that I really like to throw, especially as the water temperature gets down into the 50s. So we will snatch up some natural looking colors here. Some brown, maybe a little green pumpkin. Basically, this time of the year, I am looking for crawfish colors, something that is pretty natural. Gotta find all my right colors here. And then I will mix in like a little bit of peanut butter jelly sometimes too. That works pretty good, which I know I had different skirt material. I gotta find it all. I haven't tied jigs in a hot minute, so my stuff is a little unorganized. But we've had some people, I've had a fair number of people calling me, emailing us, asking about the tournament this weekend. So if you don't know, it's $120 to get in. That includes big bass. So far we've got, I think, 13 boats pre-registered. We're hoping to have at least 30 come out and fish. That's kind of our goal, I should say. If we get more than that, cool. The weather's looking like it's going to cooperate, so that's good. Let's see here. So do a little brown. I need my pumpkin. That's not the right color. So I like to just wrap it on the bottom like that, kind of, and then mix in my other colors here, which I think I'm going to do a little bit of brown with a little bit of pumpkin on it. That should be a decent little mixture here. And I need just a little bit. I got some of this orange. Just a little bit of orange is all we need here. Not a lot. So I'll break off a couple tabs here. This is the nice part about if you tie your own jigs, you can just add just a little bit of what you want versus having to try and find the exact color you want. So So I put just a little bit of that orange up top because I'm going to make this like a spider jig, a finesse style where I trim the top. And it'll be a nice little color. Just a little bit of orange hint on there. It's perfect. That's my wife saying hello from upstairs. So here's my first little finesse jig I tied here. It's just it's a pumpkin and brown, and then I don't know if you can see real well in there. I just put just a touch of orange on the top. So when the water gets in the 50s, especially like the lower 50s, that's when orange has its place, at least in my boat. And I'm gonna pair this little jig. It's a 7/16, so I like that size because you can throw it in somewhat deep water and actually feel what's going on versus a 5/16. And then I usually put like a crocodigator ring crawl on there, or sometimes I'll even put a pack a chunk on there, which I know some people are probably going to say that's got too much action for the winter, but the claws just stand up really good on those, especially on these smaller jigs. So I like that because, you know, I'm not moving my bait a whole lot. I'm fishing around brush a lot, either isolated brush or fishing around docks. So when I get to that brush pile or I get close to it, I really just let my jig sit there for a second, and that's when you get most of your bites, is that jig just sitting there either on the outside of the brush or sitting right in the middle of it. So let's see, I'm gonna tie probably, I have to think what I have color wise in my boat. I know I'm getting a little short on some stuff, but I'm probably gonna do a little bit of green pumpkin with a touch of orange again. And maybe a little bit of brown with it. But your green pumpkins and your browns and like your peanut butter colors are super good in the Ozarks for crawfish, especially when you get to a little bit clearer water. It's just like a natural color that blends in very well and just looks very natural. So I'm going to do a little bit of a multicolor on this one, but we're sticking with the orange. So whenever I tie jigs, I like to kind of get my colors. I'll lay them out, hold them up, and then mix them together so it's kind of evenly distributed. I'm going to do a little less of that. I think a little bit more pumpkin. There's no, I guess, right or wrong color. It's what you have confidence in, but you know, it's hard to beat any sort of green, pumpkin, brown, pumpkin type combination. That's going to work almost all the time. Mix in a little bit of this lighter green pumpkin. I call it like an army green. Be on the top. And then I'll put in my 2 or 3 strands of my pumpkin with the orange. I'm a big fan of the orange. That's what really can make your jig get a few more bites, especially this time of the year. Gotta fight all my skirt material here. And I usually try and kind of put that on the top, so as the jig is sitting at rest, that's kind of fluttering around, especially with the little spider style jig, a little bit of skirt sitting up top. I think that sitting there just kind of wiggling looks like little pinchers or little antenna of a crawfish just kind of moving in the water. I might have some of these for sale at the ramp. I'm not sure. I know we are going to have our A-rig head and stuff, which I'll get that out here in a second and show you after I tie this jig. We'll have that. We'll have our shirts. Have some hats. And with the shirts and the hats, or any apparel, I should say, we're going to do the bonus to where if you have it in your first place out of the money, then you are going to get your entry fee back. So buy a $20 shirt, $20 hat, and you can get your entire entry fee back if you're, say we're paying 5 places and you get 6th. So that's a pretty decent little incentive. Give this a little trim here. That all squared away, and find my my Allen wrench here, and then this is my next little finesse jig I have, and you can see I got a little bit of the orange in there again. It's hard to probably pick up on this phone camera. It doesn't focus that well, but that's 2 jigs. Let me show you. Got bags of the A-rig heads. If you guys are interested in any of these, we'll have these at the ramp. They're $2 a piece. Fantastic little 1/8 ounce head. It's got the dual weed guard, which I like to fan out like that. So that's what it's looking like. It's got the screw lock on there, and this is the perfect hook. We've done a lot of research, a lot of trial and error. You can see it's got some give to it, so you can bend this out if you do get stuck, but it pairs perfectly with a Kitech 3.8. I'll thread it on here real quick, and then you can roll up to a 4.8. Now you can use like a 3.3, a little bit smaller, but you almost get to the point where your hook shank gets too close to your tail. But with a 3.8, man, it's perfect. Now this one is ripped a little bit, so the head's not going to hold on there as well. But normally I get it on here and I twist the tail around like this, do it 3 times, and it'll screw it right up on the head, but this one's totally ripped out. But here's what it looks like with a Kitech 3.8 on there. This is the only head we basically use for our A-rigs at this point now, and it works really good. So if you want some of those, we'll have those at the ramp available to buy. I think I got like 200 something of them, so we shouldn't have any shortage as far as that goes. Let's see here. I'm gonna tie, got 2 more finesse jigs I want to tie up at least. This is just for the weekend in case I'm fishing brush, and you know, it's inevitable. You will get stuck at some point, and you may also break off using a little bit lighter line this time of the year. You typically roll 17 throughout spring, summer, and all that. And as I get further into winter, I step down to like 14. Sometimes I get lower, go down to 12 with a jig, which is fine. You just got to be a little more conscientious of your hook set, as I have a pretty aggressive hook set sometimes. I need to poke this out, highlight a little bit, got too much paint in there, but I got to remind myself sometimes to tone that down, and then you don't have any issues. And you got to check your line, of course, more, especially if you're fishing around bigger busted up rock or something like that. That'll eat up that smaller line pretty easy. But let's see here. Here's what I'm looking for. I got too much stuff on my workbench. Finishing my basement. Got other tools. Got all my jig tying stuff now. There we go. Coming through here. So I got a lot going on, and not a lot of storage like normal. So I'm trying to make the best of it here, but we'll tie up another finesse jig, and then I've got a skipping jig that I'll probably tie up. Now I normally, like I said, I like the finesse style skirts, spider skirts, whatever you want to call them, as the water gets in the 50s, but I will still throw a full skirt, especially in deeper water, something around, say, 15 to 20 feet. That's where I kind of like that, because it's just with the heavier jig, sometimes it's better. You can just feel a little bit more, and a lot of my half-ounce jigs are full skirted versus the smaller, and sometimes I'll even throw a football jig in there. But let's tie like a Ozark Killer, I think is what I have this named at on our website. This is a great color right here. It's got I'll show you. I gotta get the other piece here. So this one has, oh, my tabs are stuck together. All right, so this one's got, oh man, it's hard to see the color under here, the true color of this. This is like a army green. It's really, camera's not that good for that. Army green, and then I've got this brown, but it's not like a dark brown. It's got a sheen to it, which again, let me see if this can, let me turn this around, see if you can see any better with this. Here we go. So this has this sheen to it right here. And then this is what I call my army green. It's pretty flat. And then I sprinkle in a little bit of this black with a red flake on there. And I put this at the top. And it is just a phenomenal color. I like the Ozarks. I throw it year round, really. And it always produces. It's a good confidence color. It just looks like a crawfish, really. So I like to put my, get rid of this lone strand here. I like to take my tabs. I've had an old jig tying video, and I used to lay it on here like this and wrap it on, but it's a lot better now. I take my tabs and kind of just fold it over on the thread, and that seems to work out a little bit easier and helps you place your colors right where you want them. That's the biggest thing. If you buy like you know, a lot of these big store-bought jigs is what I'll call them, mass-produced jigs, they're not getting hand tied. They're just getting a rubber collar slapped on there, and number one, that collar, it rots over time if you have a bunch of them. The sun, if you throw it in the water, it just gets brittle, falls apart. And then the skirt material is not placed correctly, is what I would call it. It's not where it should be. A lot of times you'll take one of those out of the package and you've got to kind of run it around the jig, sort it all out, get it to where the colors should be. Whereas, you know, these, I take my time, put the color right where I want, and then it does not move. And it's locked down with thread. I've never had a jig untie, ever. Skipping them, had jigs for a long time. You're always going to lose your jig or wear it out before you got to mess with it with the hand-tied jig. So that's why I enjoy it, and it helps you catch some more fish. So that's that. So here's that color. It's hard to see again probably, but it's got the army green up front, it's got the sheen brown on the back, and it's got the little black and red flake in there. So those are my finesse jigs that I'm gonna probably use this weekend for the most part, and hopefully I don't lose any, and I can just use whatever color is working the best there. But if I do lose one, I've got some backups. I got some of those colors in the boat already too, which is nice. And then I'm gonna make a 3/8 ounce here, and the reason I'm making this one a little bit different head style. The other jig, let's see if you can see it. The other jig looks like this, which is good. It's got a small hook, thinner weed guard. It's just more of a total finesse style jig. So this is a good jig to pitch around in your docks, getting brush, whatever. You can put it in tight spaces. But my skipping jig heads, which I'll show you, they look like a little bit more. This style head right here, it's very flat. It's got a good keeper on it right here. This is what I use to skip with. I'll usually pair it with a beaver bait, sometimes like a pack chunk or something, but usually you put a beaver bait, something that's got a real flat bottom on it, you're gonna get a lot of distance on it. So what I do is I'll tie some of these up in 3/8 in the winter time when it's cooler, and I got that smaller profile. The whole thing's just smaller, and I can really still skip that around. So with the skipping jig, I'm oftentimes going straight brown, or I add brown in, maybe just a touch of orange again. Maybe mix in just a little bit of pumpkin, I should say. I want to say peanut butter jelly. Just pumpkin color. And that's a pretty good clear water jig. And I say clear water, I fish around by the dam a lot at Ozarks, which is clear for here. So, you know, it's not the same as Table Rock or anything like that, but it has been pretty clear this year, especially with the lack of rainfall. So natural colors seem to triumph when it's clear. I'm about out of thread. I gotta change that out soon, but I think I got enough to tie what I need to tie. If anyone's got any other questions about the tournament, you can text us, email us, ask on here. a lot of different ways to get a hold of us. Facebook, I'm trying to basically just get the word out on here some more because we've been all over Facebook saying about it. I want to make sure everybody that watches the channel has an opportunity to know, other than, you know, if you don't follow us on our other social media. So get this going here. And we'll add a little bit of orange in. And this one will be tip-top shape. That trimmed up. All right, that one's done too. So that is in good shape. So that'd be like my little skipping jig there, 3/8. I'll just put a flat beaver or something on there, and I can skip that very, very nice. Probably gonna tie one more of those. I think I got enough thread for it, but it's gonna be close. And I'll probably make the next one with a little bit more green pumpkin instead of brown in it. A little bit of green pumpkin. I'll go with a touch of, this is like an olive color, just to give it a little bit of difference between the two green pumpkins. And a little bit of army green. So this, I'm gonna just basically mix match this. I take my tabs a lot, and if I'm doing like a hybrid color or where I want it blended, I'll take my colors and I'll stagger them like this, and then you can put them all on the jig if you're going to tie like this. And if you're going to do where you fold it in half, get rid of your straggler because that's just a pain, then you can fold it in half, get it started, and you can take your other color, go over top, do one. I am dangerously low on thread, so I can't do too many wraps till I'm ready to finish this one up because it could get bad. I don't want to run out of thread halfway through. That'd be real bad. All right, we'll put a lighter color here. All right. Hope I got enough thread. I am dangerously low. I think so. Oh boy. There it is. Just enough. A little unorthodox, but it'll work. Alright, trim that. And I think we're going to call this the final jig of the night. Have me ready for the weekend. Alright, that goes there. I'll pop this out, and then this is our last skipping jig here. This one's more green pumpkin based, just natural. Some darker, later almost brown, and some are light green pumpkin. So, all right, that's got my jigs tied up for the night. It's amount of thread, and it's a pain to change. I don't want to make you guys have to watch that. So, again, the tournament. Here it is. It's coming up this Saturday, 7:30. It's the first of the series. Just some other common questions we've had is you can fish by yourself. You can fish with a partner. It is a points-based series, but it is also open, so that means you can come in and fish as many as you want. You can fish the one in December, you can fish the one in February and March, you can skip one, whatever. However it works for you. It's not like you have to attend each one. There are no membership fees, no club fees, nothing like that. This is an open format. A-rigs are allowed, and that's pretty much the gist of all the questions that we get. Take off at 7:30. Sign up is at 6 a.m. is when you can start. And I think we're gonna have donuts in the morning. So you can come out and see us. It's looking like it's gonna be good weather. Fishing has been so-so, but it's going to get better as the water cools down and we just get into the winter pattern, because with the drought, weird temperatures, it's been pretty mild. It's kind of got the fish like in a stagnant stage, I guess, where they're transitioning. And they're still moving to their winter spots, but if the water would just hurry up and cool down, it would get them there a lot sooner, I think, and stack them up a lot better and get your traditional baits going. So hope to see everybody out at the ramp. Like I said, we'll have our A-rig heads there, have some apparel if you guys want to do that. It's got the bonus to help if you're one place out of the money, you will get your entry fee back. And I think that's it. I guess while I'm here too, give a quick shout out to our sponsors, which is Hillerman and Associates Insurance. Hard to see on the banner over here on that side. If you have any insurance needs, contact them. You got Wholesale Batteries, location in St. Louis and Kansas City. They know batteries. They'll get you hooked up. Call them if you got questions, whatever. They can get a good plan for you. They also have custom wiring harnesses for your electronics, which is cool. It's easy to run in the boat. We got Right Height Marine Products, and we also have, let's see if we can do that. Every now we're thinking, how you doing, Bernie? Hello. And we got Angry Dragon Lodge. So that's right by Kaufman Beach. So if you need a place to stay, look him up. I think it's VRBO, but just look at his website, angrydragonlodge.com. He cuts a deal for fishermen. He's got like multi-level, so you could have a fair amount of people that stay there. It's split, so you got two separate floors. He's got covered parking, I think, or trailer parking. He's got his own boat ramp right there, and you can also leave your boat in a slip, and I believe all that has electric too. So it's actually catered to fishermen, and a lot of these places up at the lake, if you get like Airbnb or something, they don't have good trailer parking. There's nowhere to plug your boat in, stuff like that. So if you come up like a Friday or something for a tournament, you want to pre-fish, check him out. He's got a good deal for fishermen. So I believe that is all that I have for you guys. I figured I'd hop on and do a little live stream since my footage really wasn't that good, and answer some questions, and you guys can watch me tie some jigs and see how it goes. So if you have any questions, holler at us here on YouTube, Facebook, email us at midwestoutdoorexperience.com. If you want to pre-register, go to our website and top left-hand corner and reserve your boat number. We got 13 boats so far, I believe, registered, 14 if you count us, and we're hoping to have 30. So have a good night, guys, and we will see you later.